behind this week. You know, hey, 30 minutes earlier than last week's show, but still, a little hour later, though, because, I was at the Bonnies game tonight. Watched them play their exhibition game, and man, that felt good to beat those sons of bitches, Alfred Saxons. 101-40, baby. I know it's an exhibition game, but let me go about this one just because I think Bonnies is for real. I know it's the exhibition game, but we'll see how they do come regular season this Monday. That's when the college basketball regular season starts. They play Bradley. That's going to be a good matchup, but still. The much anticipated debut of Joe Grahovic, this JUCO college that could have gone pro, decided to go with Bonnies. Woj recruit him. He didn't do as much, but still, he looked all right late in the second half. He had a three, I think, early. I think he finally had a three, and then he also had a dunk, so he had some good plays. Some of the other guys we got in the portal, Frank Mitchell, who played at Canisius, started his career. He played for Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. Now he's at Bonnies. This is the third school he's on. He looked good tonight. I think Charles looked good even. He's another transfer, I think, and then Simmons looked good too. And bringing back Asante Bowen from their season was huge too. If he can stay healthy, this Bonnies team could be for real. And what I'm happy about is the hometown kid, from my hometown there, Jack DeRose hits a three, tonight too. So, that was my highlight of the night, that one. I just put 100 points. But still, now the exhibition games are pretty much getting towards the end, and then we're getting close to the college basketball regular season finally starting, folks. It's coming. And Bonnies is projected to finish 8th or 9th in the conference right now, which, yeah, I get it why. Because we have struggled in conference play in recent years. We start out hot, and then we struggle. But right now, I just say keep an eye on them. I'm just saying, they're under the radar kind of team right now. Just keep an eye on them. Same with George Washington, too. I think George Washington's projected to finish 4th, so keep an eye on that team. Those are the two teams I can see compete, but VCU, St. Louis, those are my top 4 right now. There's some I could switch out for sure, but still, right now, I just top 25 polls right now. So Duke, they should have won the national championship this past season. They should have won that. Have just as good as a team as last year. Cause last year's team should have been the team to win the national title. Cooper Flag and all them, they just couldn't handle the big stage. They struggled in those kind of games. They had a big lead and they just choked that one. But yeah, so yeah, I'm interested to see how they do. Bonnies kicks out the season, the regular season against Bradley. This will be a neutral site game at Rock Hill, South Carolina, 11 a.m. tip off on YouTube. So that'll be good. Part of a Field of 68 live stream on YouTube. These games will be aired on YouTube, so catch this team out. Thank you for. Seriously, thanks for tuning in. And then the Duke Blue Devils kick off their season this Tuesday at 8:45 on ESPN against Texas. And he's still announcing, but still, it's cool they're doing that though. So yeah, Duke's got Texas neutral site game out in Charlotte. But now let's get into football. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about the Sabres game I just went to this past Friday. I called it. I said the Sabres were going to beat the Leafs, and they sure as hell did. They came out scoring goals right away. They got the first one right away. Matthias Samuelsson, 5 minutes into the game, gets a. And I started saying, fuck the Leafs, a bunch of Toronto fans. I was chirping right away. Instigator Mick was being at his finest, that game in Buffalo this past Friday. I was doing a lot of chirping. The Sabres backed it up for me. And Nylander gets a goal off a nice deep pass, tied it up, and then boom. Sabres responded again with the goal. Yuri Kulik 2-1, and then Leafs tied up again. I think it was Austin Matthews. Yeah, Matthews got that one. So it was 2-2 at the end of the first period. Second period, Sabres got a couple goals. Tage Thompson got us the lead there, and then Matthias Samuelsson got his second. It was 4-2 Sabres at the end of the second period. Then Dakota Joshua gets a goal, cuts to 1 for the Leafs, and then I was like, oh goodness. But then Alex Tuch coming clutch there, gets the shorthanded goal, beating the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-3. So that was a great night. So I got that hockey prediction right. But now let's move on to college football, recap last week. Of course, same night, Virginia Tech Hokies got back on track, beating Cal in double overtime. That was a thriller. Go to Virginia Tech scoring the first 10. They gave up 20 unanswered. By the quarter. Third quarter, they scored, 10 to tie it up. It was 20-20. Going in the fourth quarter, they both got a touchdown. It was 20 going into overtime. They both scored a touchdown. We went to double overtime. Virginia Tech, scoring the touchdown. They get that, and then they shut down Cal on a 4th down conversion. Virginia Tech gets the win. A Friday night game last week. That was incredible from both these teams. Put up one. So many times that Virginia Tech lost one. Missed field goals, but also bad referee calls. The refs could, just kept trying to find ways to fuck Virginia Tech over. But still, good effort by both teams, but that was a hell of a win. Now the college football Saturday we had. How you doing? Thank you for joining in too. Georgia Tech dominated Syracuse. I figured, but also you just don't know. Sometimes these top tier teams get upset, but still, Georgia Tech took care of business. 41-16 over Syracuse, pretty easily though. I think Georgia Tech's for real a contender to win the ACC. I think just showing they beat Duke and now they dominate Syracuse. We're gonna see how they do in November. That's the biggest. A lot of these college teams, they come out and dominate these teams. We'll see how they do. November football is a different animal than college football. Playoff spots, conference championship spots too. All kinds of stuff. We're gonna see. And Ole Miss beat Oklahoma. I had Oklahoma. So boy, this time Ole Miss found a way to win this one. I really thought Oklahoma was gonna win at home, but Ole Miss really helped their playoff cases right there with a win like that on the road. And Virginia survived a scare from Carolina. I really thought the Tar Heels were actually going to pull off the upset. I thought Belichick's finally going to get his first conference win, first ACC win, by knocking off a UVA team that's a surprise team. So yeah, UVA winning by 1 now with that win. That was a good game. Some of the 3:30 games, had Alabama surviving a scare from South. So Bama